guys, welcome to another speed build. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we're over in the brand new world of Ondarion, which I believe that is how you pronounce it. I looked it up and everybody pronounces it a different way. But I went on to like the Sims wiki website and that's how they spelled it out in the pronunciation of each syllable, and so that's I guess how I'm gonna say it if I can remember. I was saying Ondarion, I was close enough. Ondarion kind of sounds more like it to me, so I guess that's what I'm gonna stick with. In case you are not familiar with the new pack and the features, the new pack comes with 3 different quote-unquote worlds in Ondarion. I guess more like neighborhoods, but it's like each neighborhood is a completely different concept. I have not yet explored any other neighborhoods besides this one that we're building in today, so I can't speak much on those, but this one is in Bellacorde, which I think is absolutely beautiful. I love this neighborhood. I just started a brand new Let's Play, and this is actually the neighborhood that I chose to play in. I recognize it a little bit from the very first trailer, which honestly is the only trailer I watched. I only watched the reveal trailer, and I think I remember seeing the Bellacorde Palace in that trailer, and I remember seeing all of the hydrangea plants and just the palace itself and thinking to myself how pretty it was. And so I kind of knew that this was the neighborhood I was gonna want to play in. And then once I read the description of Bellacorde, it's like a romantic type of atmosphere in the description, and I absolutely love that. It goes with the gameplay that I have in my Let's Play, and so I said that is absolutely perfect, let's go there. And to my surprise, the Caps and the Monties live in this part, and I am so happy about that because if you guys know me, if you're a returning viewer, then you know I am a hardcore Sims 2 fan, always have been, always will be. That has a special place in my heart. And so when I seen the Monties and Caps was in this expansion pack plus in this neighborhood, my heart was so happy about that. And I haven't explored them too much, but from what I have seen in my gameplay, I feel like they did a really good job setting up their families and the relationships. Like, there's still the lore of the Caps and the Monties having a sort of feud with each other, which I absolutely love. Romeo Monty and Juliet Cap, they were in a relationship in The Sims 2, and they carried that relationship on here, but they are now adults. They were teenagers then in The Sims 2, and now they're adults. So I absolutely love that sort of timeline shift. And then of course, Romeo and Tybalt Cap, they have a feud with each other. So I haven't really explored much beyond that, but I absolutely love that they kept that sort of vibe, that lore with this new pack. And honestly, I feel like this is the only pack that would make sense with these two families. Like, it just is perfect for this new pack for sure. So I do have a palace that I'm working on, but it's a big build. It's taking a while. I'm taking my time on it, and honestly I might even start over on it. I don't know if I'm 100% happy with it, so I took a break on that and I decided let's go to a smaller lot and build like a regular family home. And so I chose the lot that the Monty family is on. I went ahead and bulldozed their house. Nothing wrong with it, but you know, I just wanted to build my own. And so that's where we're building. It's like in the heart of the neighborhood of Bellacorde, and it is a 20 by 15 lot, so very, very tiny. There's not a huge yard. And the house that was here originally actually made it to where there's not a yard at all, which makes sense looking around the neighborhood. Nobody else has a yard. But you know what? I really wanted some sort of greenery and landscaping and stuff on my build. And so I do have a little bit of a yard for this house, but I feel like it's fine. It makes enough sense. This is like, it's a standalone house. It's not connected to anything else. So, I mean, of course it's gonna be a little bit special, you know? Maybe this is the home of the second in charge sort of family. Like, obviously the most royal, first in charge family is in the palace, and maybe this is like a descendant of them, you know, so it's a little bit more special, but it's not a palace. It's a little small, you know. And so yeah, I really wanted to make use of the new hydrangeas, which I think I misspoke in my Let's Play. If you guys watched it, I said the hot pink ones was the ones that I liked and the ones I seen in the trailer, and I totally was incorrect on that. It was these super light pink ones. It's almost like a peach color, like it matches the color of the second story of this house like perfectly. So I have white and peach. It might be a little bit hard to tell in the speed build, but they are two different colors. I mean, you can vaguely tell, and that is the one I was talking about. But to be fair, I do really love the hot pink ones too, and I think the palace has the hot pink paired with the peach, if I'm not mistaken, and those two together is like so beautiful. And so I'm just a fan of all of the hydrangeas. I'm not biased on the color, but I do love that we have a new sort of shade with the hydrangeas, and it's not just the same 4 or 5 colors we get with base game. You know what I mean? I do wish we would have got more flower boxes. We did not get flower boxes, so that was super unfortunate, but we did get some new shutters, which I'll talk about that in just a moment. But a few more things about the hydrangeas. It is just like a light, very barely there pink. More like a peach, I guess, and I just think it is so pretty. I love them, and the new hydrangea plants in general are different than what you find in base game. Like, they're shaped differently, you know? They're kind of a little bit shorter, and they're more circular to where you don't see the stems on the bottom as much, and they're more compact. And I just like them better, to be honest. I think they're way better than the base game version. So if I'm not trying to do a limited pack build or base game, I'm probably gonna use these hydrangeas a lot in the upcoming builds of mine. Like, I just love them so much. I think they're so pretty. And there's different colors. Oh, and they come in a hedgerow bush too, which I love. I mean, I just think that is so pretty in a hedgerow. I haven't used it here in this build because I wanted to kind of pair the regular hydrangeas with the regular hedgerow bushes, but I will use them in the future, especially for like fancy builds that has like super manicured landscaping. It is definitely perfect for those builds. But like I said just a moment ago, one of the things I've been asking for, not that it matters, it's not like the Sims team watches my videos, but I've been hoping for new like standalone shutters that you can put on windows and customize your windows like we get with Horse Ranch. And we have some in this pack. So I was so happy when I seen that when I was going through the build by catalog. I was so excited. The only thing, you know, I have to complain about something. We don't get a whole lot of swatches on them. Like we have just a few, and I don't love the ones that we do have. So that is very unfortunate, but at least they're like not rustic. We have a more fancy version now and perfect for suburban builds. Like, I actually think it's more like suburban-esque look to it. You know, it's not even really fancy. It can be if you dress it up like I did, but it's gonna be perfect for my family suburban build. So I'm so happy. I can't wait to build like a regular house and use those shutters because they are gonna be perfect on like any window. And now I don't have to resort to only the Horse Ranch one. So I'm so happy about that. But like I said, the swatches are not the best. I know there's a stark white and a black, and then there's this brown, which I think are my 3 favorites out of all of them. I can't remember if there is a blue or not for some reason. That must mean that there's probably not, which that's unfortunate. There is like an emerald green, which you can make work with certain houses, so I'll be excited to try and use that swatch. But yeah, I can't really remember any of the others because I didn't necessarily love them. But you know what? Like I say all the time, beggars cannot be choosers. I'm glad we at least got some new shutters, and they're actually pretty good looking too. Like, I'm, like I said, super excited to use them on like a suburban build. I also really like this new sort of stone exterior wall coating, wallpaper. I love how you can make it look dirty, you can make it clean, and you can make it look like there's like green, maybe algae or something growing up it. I absolutely love those details. So I of course use that here. All of the surrounding buildings has that sort of dirty look to it, so I really wanted it to blend in as much as possible. And same with the tile on the roof. So you can actually change the swatch, which I didn't realize until I was done building. So right now I have the clean swatch, but I do end up changing it to the dirtier swatch that looks like the roof desperately needs to be redone because all of the other surrounding lots has that sort of roof in this neighborhood. And then I think like it would be perfect for like the palace to be super clean, you know, well taken care of, and all of the houses around it not so well taken care of. That kind of is the vibe that I see in this neighborhood, and I kind of like that. Also, we have some new terrain paint, like stone terrain paint, that for the most part matches the surrounding world, like the stone you see in the surrounding street around this house. It's a little bit of a different color, but the look of it is basically the same. And it actually comes in 2 different versions, or maybe even 3, but there's like this lighter stone like I have here, and either a darker one or a lighter one, but then they have a matching like dirtier one for this color that I used here, and it kind of looks like there's grass growing in between the stone. So what I did was place a base layer and then grab the little terrain tool, and I believe I made the opacity a little lighter than I originally had it, and then I just like barely pressed some green algae in between each of the stones, so it looks like it's not all dirty, but it's getting kind of dirty, you know? And I really, really enjoyed the way that looked. I thought it looked really good. And unfortunately, as you can see, some of the surrounding buildings has like a really pretty vine growing up the side of the walls, and it has like some flowers, and I looked for that. I know we have the one that is in the build by catalog. For some reason, I find that a little hard to use. But there's like a specific one that is right off this lot on one of the buildings, and it looks like a bougainvillea sort of bush. And I was looking for that, and unfortunately, it must be tied to that building because it's not in the debug catalog. So I was so sad about that, but we do have those regular green vines that we get with a lot of other packs. There's some newer ones though, like there's some that looks like it's draped over the side of a fence off the balcony, and so I kind of utilized a lot of those around the building. I really wanted it to look like it's been there a while, you know, and they probably could clean it up a little bit, but I really enjoyed the way it looks with the vine. I thought it looked really good that way. I really love the overgrown look in The Sims, like with the vines growing up the buildings and the vines underneath the landscaping around the house. I just think it looks so, so good that way. So we have a brand new kitchen set in this pack, and I have to say I absolutely love the counters in this expansion pack. Like, I can see myself using these all the time. They're going to look really good in a suburban build, and I'm so happy about that. Like, they're not just fancy, they will work in suburban too. And I actually think they look more suburban than like fancy. I don't know. I guess they can work both ways, but the way that the faces of the cabinets look, it just looks so suburban to me. So that's right up my alley. I love the way that the drawers look. Obviously, paired with that stove and fridge, maybe gives it more of a fancy look, but if you pair it with like a normal white fridge and normal white stove, it's definitely going to give the suburban feel. I'm excited to use those in another build as well as the shutters. A lot of this stuff I can see in a suburban build. So we have this matching hutch that matches the cabinets perfectly. When I seen that, I knew I had to use it in the kitchen somewhere, and it actually fit perfectly in that little crevice right there. So I love when things work out like that and you don't have to think about it too hard. And so yeah, I was so happy to see that. We have a new sort of wall piece in the clutter items for the kitchen as well, and I don't I don't love it, but it is sort of realistic looking how the pots and pans has different, you know, types of pots and pans and cooking utensils on there. So it is super realistic. I don't know, there's something off about it to me. I don't love the way it looks. I like the one that comes with base game a little bit better, but at least we have a new piece to use. So, I mean, I am happy about that. Something else that I absolutely love in this new pack are the new chandeliers. I absolutely love this chandelier. I think it is so pretty. The swatches, you know what? Yeah, the swatches aren't the best. I wish we had more like combination of gold and silver with certain colors. Like each color had a gold version and each color had a silver version. But instead, it's certain colors has gold and certain colors has silver. So that's unfortunate, but I could make it work at the end of the day. I also really, really love the fact that we have an actual couch slash living room set. Like, there's a complete set of those items. There's a 3-seater sofa, a regular love seat, and a chair, and it even comes with an extra piece. It looks like a lounging sofa, which I just love. Okay, that is one thing other than the shutters that I've also been wanting, was just having a complete set of a living room set. You know, it's really, honestly, you would think not that hard. I mean, who doesn't want a complete set? But at the end of the day, it seems to be hard for the Sims team for some reason. But I am happy to see that we had a complete set for this pack. The coffee table I love too. I just have to say something about the end tables. I love them, but I recognize them from the Storybook Nursery Kit. Can you guys tell me, are those not the exact ones? Maybe with like new swatches and a new like color on the outside, but don't they look exactly the same? I think I need to go in game and pull out the Storybook Nursery Kit and this expansion pack and put those end tables side by side, because I also noticed that when you clip a lamp on it, it sits in the exact same place as the Storybook Nursery Kit table. So yeah, I'm kind of curious if those are the exact end tables or not. I guess, you know what? Yeah, I don't know. They do look very, very similar. At the end of the day, though, if they're not exactly the same, they're similar. I also love all of the rugs in the new pack. So we have a new set, kind of like vampires, where you could place a runner in a hallway as long as you want it to be, because there's separate pieces. There's like a middle piece and an end piece that you can place both ways. They have that exact same thing in this pack, and I absolutely love that. I was happy to see that, and I was sad to see that the blue swatch was just plain blue. I wish it had a sort of detail like this green one that I used here. I used the green one because it looks like vines. I absolutely love that. It looked so pretty, and so I had to use that. The blue one was just normal blue, so I was sad about that. And some of them are just plain, some of them have designs, which I get why they did. I just wish they would have done like 2 different versions of each color, if that makes sense. Like a plain one for blue and then a detailed one for blue, but you can't have everything, I suppose. The green one is very, very pretty though, so I did want to use it somewhere. So I used it when you first enter the house. It will be perfect for a super long hallway though. I'm looking forward to being able to use it like that. Now, as far as the bedrooms in this house and the bathrooms, we have 2 bathrooms and 4 bedrooms. Believe it or not, I was surprised that I was able to fit that many bedrooms. 2 out of the 4 are relatively small, but you'll be able to fit whatever you need in there, no problem. And then the master bedroom I have done, I have like a blue and white sort of theme. I absolutely love these new beds that came with this pack. I think it is so pretty. And the child's version is so adorable. I used the pink one downstairs for the child. I knew I wanted to do that as soon as I seen the bed. It reminds me of that sort of princess looking bed from The Sims 2. And they had a hot pink swatch that I absolutely loved. And so I knew I wanted to use that swatch here when I seen it. So I love the new clutter items in the pack as well. Like there's a lot of feminine clutter items like jewelry and makeup and perfume, some heels that you can place on the ground. I absolutely love all of those clutter items. I used as many as I could without making it too much. So I'm looking forward to finishing the palace that I'm working on so I can really utilize all of the clutter items. It also came with one of those little handheld fans, which I just think is so adorable. I love that. The swatch, like with my reshade, the shadow on that fan is a little questionable, but I just ignored it. I did turn my reshade off just to see if it did the same thing or not, and it's not there if you don't have the reshade, so it's not like broken per se, it's just not very reshade friendly. But there are a few items in this game in general throughout different expansion packs that is like that, so it's not the end of the world. It's definitely something that you can ignore because at the end of the day, it's just a clutter item, so you're not going to be just staring at it all day. I mean, I guess you could, but that would be on you at that point. I choose to ignore it. There's also a new makeup table, like vanity sort of thing, and it matches the rest of the furniture like perfectly. I was super happy to see that all of the furniture in this pack pretty much matched each other, so it's super easy to utilize all of the items and make it cohesive. So they actually added a couple of different versions of each set to match the neighborhood that you're actually building in. So there's this one that matches Bellacorde, and then there's another one that matches Damble or Dambell. Like, I really don't know how you pronounce that, okay? I realized in this pack, I don't know how to pronounce a lot of things. But there are a set of items that matches that neighborhood, and I don't think they added a third set. They could have, but for the most part, there's only like 2 different versions. I'm not 100% sure. I think the version that matches Bellacorde will also work really well in Virdemar as well. I'm not 100% sure. I really haven't explored any of the other neighborhoods besides Bellacorde, so I'm looking forward to going in those neighborhoods sometime soon and looking around and building something there. But I can pretty much tell by looking from the neighborhood view that one set matches Dambell and then the other set matches Bellacorde and probably Virdemar as well. Those two look pretty similar from the outside looking in. I haven't yet stepped foot in Virdemar. I'm looking forward to doing that, but I can tell just by, you know, the neighborhood, like I said, they pretty much look the same, or at least very similar. So we have pretty much reached the end of our build for today. All in all, I really loved the brand new items with this pack, and I can see myself using them in other sort of builds outside of this world, which I really think is a plus. I am curious how you guys feel about the build buy items in particular in this new pack. Do you guys like them? Do you see yourself using them in builds outside of this neighborhood? Let me know down in the comments below. I am definitely looking forward to sharing more builds with you guys as far as this pack is concerned, and I hope you guys are looking forward to them as well. If you enjoyed today's video, leave a like and also subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys!